Shalom, call all y'all about Shem Shah. Shalom to the left. I've been watching the news as usual. And recently I just seen some stuff that was going on over here in what they call the Middle East, over here in Jerusalem area. With the issues going on with the Gaza area, and so on and so on. Now I'm just let this video play and I'm gonna pull some precepts. Just basically backing up what they're actually speaking on the video. Let me go to this real quick.
Deadly airstrikes on Gaza have been launched by Israel following Hamas's rocket fire on Jerusalem. So will the United States be able to stay out of the conflict?
And the answer is no, because they're going to be pulled right into this, like the prophecy said. Let me go to this. And see, watching these videos, when you really meditate on the scriptures a lot, you really ate the whole road. This stuff is just popping in your mind. Like, I know these precepts like that just by thinking of them. The least of the flaws should draw them out. I'm just going to go to it for edification's sake. It's in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 20. It says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord. They are taken against Edom, and his purposes they rose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he should make the habitation desolate with them, and that's what's going to happen. That's why recently I made the other video, speaking on how they're trying to kick other fellow Israelites from out of that land. They should really count that as a blessing, because the Most High has mercy. Yeah, let me go to this other precept real quick and I'll let this video play. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for appointed time. And I wasn't looking for this precept, but this popped up. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, but this will surely come. It will not tarry. Now, this stuff that's actually happening right now. People have been saying, oh, this ain't going to happen for another 100 years. This ain't going to happen in our lifetime. Grandkids going to see this, and so on and so on. Hey, we seeing this right now. And the reason why it's starting to pop off now because the elect being sealed. Let me go down some more. Let me see. This ain't what I was looking for. I was actually trying to go into the long suffering precept, but this one got to come out. Now it's still in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm sorry, verse 8. It said, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and all that dwell therein. And that's why you see all this popping off like this. The same stuff that these Edomites did to everybody else now is happening to them. And simultaneously, you got the Amalekites over there in that land right now. Now, who they going to drag into this? They're going to drag the U.S. military and their little personal security guards. Now, I'm going to go to the other precept real quick. It's so like I read this precept hundreds of times, and I should have just went straight to it. It's a little early. So I'm gonna do some sit downs real early before I actually doze off. Anyway, this is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3. Now this one, he ain't melt the elements with fervent heat yet. I'm gonna just jump down to the main point. It says, in chapter 3, verse 3, it says, knowing this first, there should come in the last days scoffers, which I'm gonna make a video on that too, because I've been seeing a lot of people talking about why do people call on the name Yahweh Shai and stuff like that. Hey, it was always a mediator. And when you go into that word worship, better yet, pull that up real quick. And I'll build on it some more. I just want to say this since I'm speaking on it now. While we say Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, scriptures clearly say no one goes to the Father but through me. It's talking about Yahweh Shai. Same thing during the time of the Exodus. Our people, they wanted to go directly to the Most High, but once they seen that ship land on Mount Sinai, they was like, nah, Moses, you go up. They ain't want to go up there. Now, when you go into the word worship, the definition says the feeling of expression of reverence. So all we're doing is just reverencing Yahweh Shai, because he was that sacrificial lamb. When Yahweh, the Most High, what people say, oh, you only supposed to serve the Most High, which you are correct. There's nothing wrong with giving reverence to Yahweh Shai, because he's the one that's going to be sent back. The Most High not going to get off his throne and come down here as a person that's a chain of command. He's going to send Yahweh Shai back. And a lot of people, they're going to see that, and that's why I say the tribes mourn when they see him, because they're going to be thinking like, damn, we was talking shit. We weren't reverencing him, and this was coming back to help deliver us. He not delivering them, though. Now it says a feeling of expression of reverence and adoration for a deity. It says show reverence, and you have some people that see that word deity and they'll take that shit and run with it. That says show reverence and adoration for a deity, honor with religious rights. So it's just honoring the man when he laid down his life, which was just part of prophecy anyway, because he was coming back to fulfill prophecy. That's an honorable thing, man, just for his tribes, to be that sacrificial lamb. When Yahweh took away all the sacrifices, you couldn't bring no turtle dove. You couldn't bring no other actual lamb. You couldn't bring no other goats or no other cattle and bring that before the Levite priest. Everything ended up going through Yahweh. That's an honorable thing, so hey, you gotta reverence the man. But the scriptures say that there's gonna be people in these times that's gonna be anti-Messiah, anti-Christ, and all that stuff Anyway, let me go back to where I was going to. I'll speak on that some more in another video. I says, knowing this first, that there should come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, saying, where's the promise of his coming? But since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. But this, they willingly are ignorant, that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were old, and the earth stand out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflow of water perished. For the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. It says in verse 8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So, once again, those people that's being moved out of that land and be sent elsewhere, count it as a blessing, man. Most I could be pushing you somewhere just so you be more safe in a safer environment. Because what's going on over here, man, you only get caught up in that shit. And they already talking about people dying anyway as soon as the missiles drop. Got some people that hide underground and in bunkers and stuff. But everybody ain't got no bunkers. I'm going to just play some more, and I'll pull some more precepts too.
We're going to discuss. And the COVID vaccine has been approved for ages 12 to 15. Does this mean mandatory vaccination for middle schoolers are in the future? This, as Senator Rand Paul has taken Dr. Fauci to task about the origins of COVID. Ben Swan joins us to discuss. Plus, is the U.S. government paying people not to work? Well, Dr. Wolf will help us decide. And meanwhile, is Google going back on the word and still tracking your activity? We're going to update you on the latest and what you can do about it. I am Scotty Nell Hughes, and all of these stories on today's edition of News View Fuse right here on RT America. We start the show with escalating conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Now, you are currently looking at a live picture on the left of your screen of the Israel-Gaza border as the night sky seems to be very quiet now. But that is in large comparison to the video on your right, is earlier when the skyline was being lit up by firepower from both sides. Now, sirens are going off across all of Israel, and both sides seem to show signs the fighting is going to continue to escalate. And there's a lot involved in this situation. And people on both sides of the conflict, I have to say this, are very passionate in the support for their group. Very passionate. But I actually want to look past that, as that's what a lot of people right now are doing today. They're trying to obviously back up the side that they belong on. I actually want to look at what the role the U.S. has played and possibly could play in this conflict, and does it actually help or hurt the situation? So helping me with the discussion about the United States involvement in the region during this time, I bring in Daniel McAdams, Executive Director of the Ron Paul Institute. Thanks for joining me, Daniel.
Thanks for having me, Scotty.
See, hold on, let me back this up real quick. I always get a good little laugh out of this when I see these Edomites or these other heathens or so-called Uncle Toms sitting in front of these bookcases like that. They have all them books, right? Have all this wisdom. Go to this precept. It's one of my favorite precepts right here. It's in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1. Let me go all the way down. I'm going to start at verse 18. Even though I wasn't trying to bring this stuff out, it's coming out anyway, and I'll build on it in another video as well. It says, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. And that's why a lot of people, they can't really grasp